Hey guys, Louie here on a pretty dreary California day. It is, let's see, today is Thursday, but I may not get this video up until Friday or Saturday. So, wow, that was quite a smackdown in silver, huh? Yeah, that was really something. I was sorry to see, everything reversed like it did, but I guess easy up, easy down. It was the war tensions that drove it up both days that it went up so much. And then finally, the alleviation of fear that brought it back down. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But, do I think that we're headed back for a correction to lower levels? No, not really. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that it was $14 and $15 and $17 and, shoot, $17.50 or wherever it is right now is okie dokie with me. For now, I mean, I really wish it was going higher, faster, but for many of you, it's a blessing that you can continue to acquire silver and gold. Oh, these prices, they're not bad prices. I mean, I would say the price of silver and the price of gold represent a pretty solid opportunity. And that we will, while the price is higher than it was a year ago, I think it is just higher, but it's not high. When you see the cost of things, I had some plumbing work done at the house today, and I was just moving a gas line. I swear to God, that's all it was. Well, where I live, that's $2,000. So, I can't complain about an ounce of gold being $1,500 or silver being $18. That seems to me those are going to be higher numbers here in the future. Will it be the near future, the mid future, the long-term future? I don't know, but I feel inflation, and usually these precious metals keep up with inflation. So I'm not worried about that, and especially once you have your physical stack, you don't have to rush off and sell it, or you're sitting tight, waiting for something to happen. I was trading a little bit when it happened, and I was up a lot, and then I was down a lot, and I didn't enjoy that. I was thinking that the war would continue, that it wouldn't resolve so quickly, but it seemed like the whole thing was rather orchestrated, and certainly with no casualties on our side. Of course, there were dozens of casualties on the Iranian side, not because the U.S. attacked them, but because they were trampled in their own funeral procession, which I think is pretty sad. But I really thought that that would escalate, so I didn't cash out my paper trade. And maybe it will come back, but what a strange thing, what a strange world we're in, where we come close to war with Iran, and the Dow goes up, and I don't know. I'd seen the dollar weakening recently, and I was kind of hoping for people outside the U.S. the dollar would weaken and the price of gold would go down at the same time, and other countries might get a better buying opportunity. But the dollar weakened, and then it strengthened right back. So I don't know what's up with that. And with today, interest rates started high, and then they ended the day low, but silver and gold never really recovered. And normally they run contrary to the long-term rates. So I didn't really know what to think of that. I really kind of expected a little recovery in the prices, but that sure didn't happen. So what happens next? Well, I think we're still on that long-term trend line. It has spiked up off it and hit 20 or 19 something, but seems to me we're still marching upwards. And they can't seem to steal the gains from platinum. Platinum was flying over the last couple of weeks, and it did pull back a little bit today, but it is solidly higher than when it was before, and gold has held up better than silver as well. So, precious metals are still catching a bid. I just think it was people speculating on that war trade. About the only place there were two places that I found that I might have bought from today if they had what I wanted. The first was Monument Metals, because they're not charging sales tax still, and believe me, that'll catch up with them, and they aren't going to be around for long, is what I'm going to tell you. So if you're going to buy and they've got a good price on what you want and you're in a high sales tax state, it's an excellent website to check out. And I think the window is almost closed on the sales tax issue, unless you're willing to go to garage sales and deal with people on Instagram and whatnot. But if you want to go to a trusted source, those deals are almost closed, and sales tax is really attributable everywhere. Bold is charging sales tax now. I was able to find a few coins up at the coin shop in Canada, no sales tax, and the shipping was not terrible, but they had a very poor selection, and there was no real bullion there for under $22 anyway, an ounce. So Monument Metals would be my suggestion if you're looking to stack some weight right away, unless you have a cheaper source or an LCS that only charges you $1 over spot or something. But I was looking at different things for sale, and I remember having these very same feelings when silver went down the last time. I remember the last time it went up to $20. It was kind of a fake out run. In between now and when it was at $50, we had a little spike up to $20, and I got to tell you, it felt very real. It felt like that was the move, and just like the last time. Just a month or two ago that silver went to $20, I was buying because I really felt the move was upon us. And then it fell back, right? It fell to 18 and then 17, and I don't recall if it got into the 15s or not. I'm not looking at the chart at the moment, but that felt awful to have it go to a nice high like 20 and have it fall back. But the point I was going to make is I've been buying all along. And, more at 14 and 15 than I did at, 19 and 20, thankfully. And some big orders down there in the lows, because when everybody was saying that the price of silver was going to drop out, and, when it was at 14 and, seemed like it was going lower, people were out there predicting 8 and 10. They probably still are, but they don't talk much anymore. So, but back then, I was buying and getting good deals and no sales tax, and a lot of the silver I have, even the bullion, I've only got $16 in an ounce or something like that, except for the poured silver, which, I'm going to exclude that from this discussion. So, but a lot of that silver, the Scottsdale Stackers and the premium, Johnson & Matthey bars, the 100-ounce poured Johnson & Matthey bar, just a lot of Libertads, and every single thing I looked for, which I had already, was really trading up in the 20s. If you're buying over time and you're getting some good deals and you're letting some time pass, it really, unless it's a fire sale and you're just giving it away because you're in a rush, there are good prices being paid for bullion. Especially name brand bullion, and if you, like me, you like some of the collectible bullion, you buy that before you buy, the generic bullion. That's what I've always done, whether it's A-Mark bars or Libertads, and there's a good premium on that stuff. Even $5, and kooks and koalas and whatnot, are still selling for decent prices, but you got to sell them on eBay if you want to sell them for a good price. But anyway, I was not sorry at all to see the prices of things and realize that now with the higher prices and with the sales tax, I'm so glad that I was stacking when silver was 14. And I think if you're new to this and silver is between 17 and 19, and you're buying right now, I think if, like me, 5 years from now, you come back and you look at all the sales prices and you look at the spot price, and you look at what your stack is worth, unless you go totally crazy with collector coins, you will also say, wow, good job. I saved some money. I didn't spend it frivolously. It's tangible, and I can always have it at a moment's notice. And it's worth more 5 years after you bought it, right? I mean, and that's true for many people. Unless you were buying it $30 all the way down, most of us who've been doing this for 5 or 10 years have got a great basis. And so a drop from, 19 to 18 or whatever it might be, give it a 5-year perspective. And I don't think, our country's got 5 years, and I don't think things are going to be okay for 5 years, but you have to, right? You have to assume that we're wrong, because we have no evidence at all to prove that silver is going to $40 tomorrow. Lots of reasons and justifications and thoughts, but we don't have any proof of that. So if you're okay with a 5-year perspective, I really think that you shouldn't worry about what's going on right now. And I would be buying. If I needed to build my stack any larger, I'd be buying both silver and gold, and I wouldn't be looking back. But I know a lot of people disagree with that. But just my perspective, and you know what? I haven't lost any money. That's always been my perspective since the beginning, is buy and buy more when it dips, and sell some if it goes up if you want, and then buy some more, and and then buy interesting collectible stuff that maybe will go up even more than the bullion stuff. That strategy hasn't hurt me at all, and I'm one of the most optimistic people out there. And I'm not predicting $1,000 an ounce silver, or silver as the crown jewel of a new civilization, or any crazy stuff like that. I'm just saying it's worked out okay for me on a 5-year perspective, and maybe it'll work out okay for you too. Okay, guys, take care.